It's hot today, people. The school summer is over, but the weather did not get the memo. What's going on, crew? My name is Andrew. Welcome back to a brand new exciting video. Alright, so I'm sick. I don't feel too good, guys. I'm a little bit nauseous. My nose is super stuffy and I've got a sore throat. But we're gonna push through because today I got the best remedy, the best medicine for the common cold, which is the Zhiyun Crane 2. Yes! Zhiyun was nice enough to send me out this gimbal to do a quick review, and then later on we're gonna talk about how to do a hyperlapse with the Zhiyun Crane 2 and how well the Zhiyun Crane 2 does with hyperlapses. So right now I came out to this park with the gimbal and we're gonna be doing a few quick different tests. The first test will just be walking, the second test will be running, and the third test will be panning. And I'm gonna do these 3 different tests on 2 different lenses. The first will be a 16mm Sony lens and the second will be the Sigma 30mm f1.4 lens, and I'm gonna be shooting all of it on my Sony a6500. Alright, so I'm starting off with a 16mm Sony lens and it's gonna be shot on a Sony a6500. I have done a little bit of shooting with this crane, but I haven't done anything in depth, so it'll be interesting to see how well it performs. We're gonna start off with walking and then running and then panning. Here we go. So I just finished experimenting with this gimbal. It is really hot outside, so I'm gonna head back home and we'll talk a little bit more about the specifics of this gimbal. Alright guys, so I'm back in my studio, if you will, and that footage looked amazing, did it not? The footage was so smooth, buttery smooth, and I just thought it looked amazing. A few more specific specs of this gimbal would be that it can carry up to 7.1 pounds, it has an OLED display, it is almost completely made of aluminum, or aluminium, as you Brits would say. The gimbal itself is super light, it only weighs 2.76 pounds, probably because it's made of aluminum. It also is only 8.3 inches wide and 17.7 inches tall. So overall, this is a very compact and just travel-ready gimbal. It's light and easy to carry around. And one thing I would like to point out that I actually really like about this gimbal is just the carrying case that it comes with. The reason why I really like this carrying case is because when you pack it up, when you put it inside the case, you don't have to unscrew any parts of the gimbal. For the Zhiyun Crane version 2, you'd always have to unscrew off the bottom part of the handle, and although that didn't take that long, it was just kind of a hassle. So it's nice just to have the entire gimbal all set up and ready to go inside of the carrying case. And honestly, it's just a really fancy carrying case, which is great. So overall, guys, I'm just really impressed with this gimbal, and I think the best part about it is that the user experience is easy enough that even a beginner can operate it without any difficulty, but it offers the capabilities and functions to satisfy even the most extreme professionals. So if you guys are looking to get a gimbal, my dudes, then definitely check out the Zhiyun Crane 2. It is definitely, by far, the best gimbal on the market for its price point. Alright, so now we've gone over my review of the Zhiyun Crane 2, let's talk about how to make a hyperlapse with it. Really, in the past couple of years, the gimbal market has absolutely exploded. There used to be very few consumer price point gimbals on the market, and now they are just everywhere. And because of that, the industry standard, if you will, for shooting hyperlapses has changed to using a gimbal. So that's why it's really important for people like me who specialize in more travel style films and edits to try out gimbals like the Zhiyun Crane 2 and see how well they operate when they're shooting a hyperlapse. So I'm gonna pack up the crane, we're gonna head outside to a new location and talk about how to shoot this hyperlapse. Alright everybody, so I'm back outside now and I'm at the head of this little trail somewhat near my house, and I'm going to try to show you guys how to do a hyperlapse with this gimbal. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is just set up the gimbal and balance your camera on it. Alright, so that barely took any time at all. The gimbal is now balanced and ready to go. Alright, so now what you're going to want to do is make sure your camera is set to take photos and then go into the manual settings and set your shutter speed at 0.5 seconds, so half of a second. And if you're shooting at a bright time of the day, you're going to have to compensate with aperture, so just shut that aperture down. And since I actually don't have any ND filters with this lens, even at 22 f-stop, the camera is still extremely overexposed. So if you can, shoot at a 0.5 second shutter speed, but if it's too bright outside, then you're just going to bring it down until it is exposed properly. Now you're also going to want to make sure that you're just shooting shooting these photos in RAW. And now if you're shooting on the Zhiyun Crane 2, you're gonna go over to this mode button and you're just gonna click that once, and that switches it from the pan follow mode to the lock mode. What the lock mode is it means the camera is not gonna change direction, pan up or down or anything like that, no matter how you move it, how you twist it, or anything like that. This camera is gonna stay in the exact same place no matter what I do with it. All right, so now you've got everything set up. It's time to head over to the location and start shooting this hyperlapse. So today I'm gonna be shooting my hyperlapse on this trail. It's definitely better to shoot hyperlapses in an environment where there are a lot of things that are moving, like people and cars and clouds and stuff like that. But today I wasn't able to go into the city, so I'm just doing the best with what I have. Okay, so now we are set to go. The camera is unlocked. I've got the camera lined up in the position that I want it to face, and it's time for us to start actually shooting this time lapse. It's taking pictures now. So the most important thing to keep in mind is just to take small, consistent steps. What I'm trying to do is take baby steps and line one foot after the other. That way I'm staying in one straight line and I'm keeping a consistent pace. You're gonna do this for however long / far you want your hyperlapse to be, and then we're all finished and we'll head back home and start working with it in post. Alright guys, so I'm back inside now and I am tired. This video has been long, it's been exhausting, but we're on the final stretch. So that being said, let's hop on the computer and compile our hyperlapses. Alright guys, so I'm inside of After Effects. The first thing you're going to do is head over to your project panel and just hit Control-I on PC or Command-I on Mac. You're going to go and find the photos from your hyperlapse. I shot 2 hyperlapses at the trail. I'm going to use the second one for the demonstration. Now what you're not going to do is you're not going to select all of the photos and just try to import it like that. What you're going to do instead is just select the first photo and make sure the sequence options camera raw sequence is checked. So that's done, hit import, and After Effects is going to detect that your photos are part of a sequence and it's going to import them as one sole clip. And now I've already actually imported this once into After Effects, so my adjustments are already applied, but this is the Lightroom box that I was talking about. You can apply your Lightroom presets over here. You can adjust the exposure, contrast, highlights, temperature, tint, and all that sort of stuff right here. Hit OK, and it's going to import your photos into After Effects. It's going to import this little sequence up here in your project panel, drag that down to this button, and that creates a new sequence based on the file. Now you're going to either speed it up or slow it down or leave it the pace that you want. I'm going to make my whole sequence about 2 seconds long. I'm going to right click on the clip, hit time, enable time remapping, and I'm going to drag this keyframe, the last keyframe, all the way to 2 seconds. After that, I'm going to hit Control-Shift-D on my PC to split the clip. And now I've got this sped up clip. Now what you're gonna do is right click, hit pre-compose, move all attributes into new composition, and now you're gonna give your computer a heart attack because you're gonna apply warp stabilizer to a bunch of raw photos. This is gonna take a while, it's gonna be rough for After Effects, and your computer might start smoking, but eventually if you wait long enough, it should be able to stabilize it. So I'm gonna hit warp stabilizer VFX. It just finished, let's play it through. Perfect. All right guys, that's pretty much it. This was shot really quickly and I think it's really, really smooth, and it was completely shot on the Zhiyun Crane 2. And that's pretty much it guys. There you go. Those are the 2 different hyperlapses that I shot, and I think that is gonna be it for this video. I know it was a long one. There was a bunch of information just thrown on the screen, but I hope you guys still enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you guys aren't subscribed, I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys on Monday because I post Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I'll see you guys then. Peace.